Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered a good deal of things so far now, but we've still got plenty to go. To get these off, we've got Miles Morales Spider-Man number 40. Where we left off, Miles, as well as Miles, Shift, and Gank's rebellion, found the source of Sealam's dimensional shield, or at least the power source for it. Miles' Uncle Aaron. So Aaron gets freed, though there are transmitters inside that are amplifying his dimensional signature. So those have to be removed before they can truly bring the shield down. However, as soon as they've got Aaron freed, some of Sealam's guards show up. Miles and Shift deal with them. And the Resistance is able to escape. The guard commander reports his failure to Sealam, who is not happy. But Sealam states that the guard couldn't have stopped the false one, Miles. Sealam barely defeated him all those years ago, after all. But Sealam needs every warrior of the Empire fighting it at their best, so the commander isn't killed, but insists that he will do what he can to stop Miles. Back with the Resistance, Aaron has had the circuitry deactivated, but it sadly could not be removed. However, now the sky is visible over Brooklyn. But there's one thing that, with the sky being visible, the resistance can now definitely see, and that is Sealam's attack ships. Lighting up Brooklyn, going after the Resistance, as Sealam himself enters the fray. And that is where the issue ends. Empire of the Spider is definitely a story I'm enjoying quite a bit. I have a feeling it's basically just going to end with a knockdown, drag-out fight between Miles and Sealam. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Savage Spider-Man number 5. Wrapping up the non-stop saga. Where we left off, Spider-Man had evolved once again, this time from a Savage Spider-Man into a more cerebral Spider-Man. And he had managed to link into the Immaculatum's mainframe and link to, I should say, their mainframe is a giant brain powered by the A-plus enhanced genius of the Mad Thinker. But Spider-Man has since discovered he can alter the Immaculate's programming and replace it with his own, giving Spidey the power he's never had before. So the Immaculate attack, but Spider-Man is multitasking, figuring why not just use the A+ to, make the world a better place, truly better. And he's able to do all that while at the same time also bringing down the Immaculate. and having a conversation with Mad Thinker, who is totally on board with Spider-Man's plan. But Spidey gets a look at his brain and notes that his own brain, apparently parts of it are shut off. Explaining to maximize processing power and cognitive creativity, his brain shut down non-essential processes. His amygdala is not flooding his body with stress hormones. The activity in the anterior insular cortex is at a minimum, allowing logic to trump empathy, so that he can complete unpleasant tasks unencumbered. But Spidey takes down the Immaculatum. Before doing so, however, his the systems of his brain that have been shut it off are shut it back on. And Peter defeats Zemo. Tells Matthew he'll do what he can to help. Apparently, though, he leaves, and Doctor Strange shows up for cleanup, while Spider-Man destroys his cerebral Spider-Man costume and gets back to two things. Being as human as Spider-Man can be. That is where the issue and the series ends. Not terrible. There's a neat little postscript from the creative team. Basically, the idea was while old Spider-Man stories kind of focused on, had such a focus on Peter's personal life. What if it was just, take the personal life element out? So, which I can see that. But yeah, it was all right. Moving on, however, to our next book, we've got Venomlethal Protector number 4. Where we left off, Venom had discovered there was a price on his head. The various mercenaries were coming to collect. So we begin with Venom apparently appearing on a talk show. So he's having to appear in a basement while he speaks with the host on remote. Unbeknownst to Venom, however, a SWAT team has shown up to take Venom in, but, he gets an idea that that's occurring, and he deals with the SWAT team non-lethally, and makes his way to Yankee Stadium, where he stated he will be for anyone interested in getting claiming the price on his head. Meanwhile, the assassins Six and Stone are in town because they've accepted the contract for Venom, and their plan is to go after him before he gets to Yankee Stadium, getting to him before anyone else can. Now, on his way, Venom encounters a mugging, which sadly goes wrong before Venom can intervene, with one of the victims being stabbed. Venom kills the mugger, but his victim is still dead. Elsewhere, Death's Shield and Stiletto are training under Taskmaster. Taskmaster's employer wants an army, apparently. In Gramercy Park, Eddie goes to visit Anne. She's not happy with the fact that he convinced her now ex-fiance, to leave her, and he explains he was trying to protect her. And she says maybe one day she'll get over it, and maybe one day she'll want Eddie back in her life, but not today. So Venom swings away and is promptly attacked by Sticks and Stone. Apparently, and this was in one of the various. It was during Eric Larson's Amazing Spider-Man run. Venom encountered the duo previously, and Styx's life draining abilities had quite the effect on Venom. Venom tries to use Styx's abilities on Styx, which apparently that doesn't work. But Venom subdues both Sticks and Stone and learns who their would-be employer is. None other than Justin Hammer. Hammer's assistant in the Caribbean, where it turns out which is also where Death Shield and Stiletto are being trained by Taskmaster. Hammer's informed that Venom has discovered Hammer's role in his recent hardships and is likely on his way, and it's asked what should be done should Venom come knocking on their door, and Hammer simply says, invite him in. And that is where the issue ends. I'm enjoying the Lethal Protector series. Fun stuff so far. I think it's also a mini. I'm guessing either 5 or 6 issues. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see a Venom story set in his in his more villainous anti-hero days, but with kind of the context of his time as anti-hero, or even, dare I say, hero. Moving on to our next book, however, we have Spider-Gwen, Gwen-Verse, number 4. So, where we left off, the Gwens were planning to team up against Finale and Dr. Cephalopod and Nightbird, but the additional Gwens are most assuredly driving Ghost Spider nuts. There's a bit of a fight between between Gwen and her variants, and Nightbird and Dr. Cephalopod. When Spider-Zero shows up. Strange things are happening with the webs, but there's another Gwen that needs her. Captain Marvel Gwen saves a guy from stepping off a building, takes down Jan Rog, but Jan Rog is able to use the Psych Magnetron, but the other Gwens show up, save and manage to save those turned into Mandroids by the Psych Magnetron. Nightbird then shows up and shares Captain Marvel's true history with her on that Earth with her. Apparently, She's an explorer whose essence was merged with a human clone after his death, sent to Earth at the behest of the Kree Empire. She's here to save the Earth. She's here to infiltrate, gain the public's trust, and make them love her. And no matter what she tells herself, she knows beyond a shadow of doubt what she'll be to all these people, because this is the future history of the life she's already led. She realizes that hers will be the voice that decrees total destruction. And as Ghost Spider and Night Gwen duke it out, the genetic similarities between Night Gwen and Ghost Spider lead her symbiote suit to suddenly pop onto Nightbird. While the Supreme Intelligence insists that Captain Marvel be given more power than she can stand, so she flies up into the sky. And explodes. Turns out that the exposure to Ghost Spider's costume basically removed the goblin gas influence from Nightbird. But as Captain Marvel Gwen explodes, Spider-Zero pulls all the Gwens into the web, or the web of life and destiny. But apparently the threads of time got so tight and frayed it's all connected. If just one had snapped, the whole web could come down. The Spider-Verse as they know it. She had no choice. Lines were clear to her now. She knows exactly where it all goes. There's still a chance if they can all get over their differences and actually work together. They have to bring the fight to finale together, which they do, and that is where the issue ends. Very interesting. Kind of sad that they didn't. Kind of sad that they didn't get to have a Captain Marvel Gwen as part of the overall Gwen stuff, but at least permanent part. But what you gonna do, right? Moving on to our last book moment, we have Alien Annual #1. So we're back with Gabriel Cruz. Yes. In the year 2193. Protests are breaking out. Terror group has gone after some Weyland-Yutani. A group called themselves the Second Hand posted video of them attacking and taking over Nishimura Station. The head honchos of the company, so they will not be negotiating with the terrorists, but it does demand some kind of response. Adding a response that only the company can give. It's proposed that the organism is used. The idea is that a fire team from Epsilon is sent in. The organism project lead is Gabriel Cruz, after all. He gets an organism inside Nishimura Station with the aesthetics of the document. If it goes well, they get the station back and see what they bought with their money. but it stated that synths won't work for a job like that. Court directed legislation went through. They can't officially use synths against human beings. Basically, modern synths, no, but older models were programmed with more loyalty, more flexibility. They can put a pre-core directed synth operating system in a combat synth chassis. The fire team doesn't need to know what's under the hood. They have a specific operating system in mind, one that has history with the organism, and one that the company is confident has the company's interests at heart. It won't balk at a few deaths for the greater good. So, aboard the USS Francis Marion, fire teams ships out. Their synth, Charlie, is the only one to deal with the organism. And Cruz even states that no one goes in or out of the cargo hold except for himself or Charlie. And he doesn't want any of the Marines near the station when Charlie takes the package in. Apparently, Cruz didn't want them doing this job, but if everything goes like it's supposed to, they won't be needed at all. In the cargo hold is a host, and Charlie has an egg as well. They arrive at Francis Marion arrived at Nishimura Station, but sensors pick up a heat signature. And Nishimura fires upon the Francis Marion. The ship is hit, which sadly which ends up killing the prospective host for the organism, but not the facehugger. But Charlie takes one of the injured crewmen, Shipley, and uses Shipley as the host. Cruz wakes up. It's explained that the organism is dead. The host as well. When Cruz wants verification of this, Charlie tells him that tells Cruz that his wound is substantial and he should rest. He wants to see, but he still wants to see the dead alien. And so he's shown the dead facehugger and the dead host. The Francis Marion is signaling for evac, but nothing. Distress call on Wellington channel 3405. Charlie is reporting silently on secure wireless channel 075. He needs more time to document this organism's progress. Wellington is told to disregard Cruz's message as the mission is ongoing, and told not to come for them. A few days in, the company nukes Nishimura Station. This, of course, pisses off the Marines, realizing that if Wellington could nuke Nishimura Station, Wellington could have saved them. But, no, Shipley was not the host. Okay. But, Cruz, Shipley, and Charlie go to fix an oxygen leak, though Charlie states that one person should be enough to help him, but Cruz doesn't want anyone alone on the ship. When appears to be an acid burn that has caused a leak, but Charlie locks Cruz into supply room. And documents what the alien does to Shipley, as well as the rest of the crew, picking them off one by one and nesting them. After 39 days, Cruz turns out had managed to escape, remove a wall panel, slipped into the neighboring maintenance closet where he found a weapon, allowing Cruz to take down the organism and damage and shoot up Charlie pretty well before getting him into an escape pod and escaping the remains of the Francis Marion. Turns out Charlie is going to continue sending data logs from the Marion, doesn't know they're being received, but he adds not to come for them. Also, the specific core programming utilized for Charlie, Ash, the former science officer aboard the Nostromo. The issue ends with Cruz's EEV drifting into space as a wounded xenomorph does the same. And that wraps up the Alien Annual. I think we're actually getting a restart on Alien soon. New number 1, all that fun stuff. Same writer, new artist. But that is to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.